Hello and welcome, dear students. This is the syllabus released by the CBSE for English, Language and Literature, subject code 184 for grade 10 for the academic year 2021 to 2022. As per the regulations of the CBSE, two examinations will be conducted, that is one in term 1, which will be somewhere in November and December, and term 2 will be somewhere between February to March. As per the syllabus or the revised syllabus released for these term 1 and term 2 examinations, the modifications have been made and the students are expected to prepare for the following syllabus for the board examination term 1, board examination term 2. For term 1, we have reading. The questions based on the following kinds of unseen passages to assess inference, evaluation, vocabulary, analysis, and interpretation. These are the skills that will be tested: inference, evaluation, vocabulary, analysis, and interpretation. There will be two passages. One will be a discursive passage based on about 400 to 450 words. Another passage will be a case study based passage, which will have a passage as well as statistical data, visual input, tabulated information, pie chart, line graph, etc. And together it will give the information, and the students are requested to read and combine the information and then answer the MCQ based questions, multiple choice questions. This will be based on 300 to 350 words. Then comes the writing skills. The writing skills include formal letter based on the given situation, that is letter to the editor, letter of complaint, official letter of complaint, a business letter. Then we have the grammar, that is tenses, modals, subject verb concord, that is subject verb agreement, determiner, it has got as many as 6 grammar topics in it, reported speech, that is direct and indirect speech, commands and requests, statements, questions. These are related to the reported speech. And the grammar questions will be based on clause, etc., all MCQ based questions. Then we have literature. Questions based on extracts, texts to assess interpretation, inference, extrapolation beyond the text and across the text. Extrapolation, that means beyond the outside the text, your own thinking and opinion. What does it mean? You need to deduce and then respond. The textbook First Flight, from the textbook First Flight, we have A Letter to God, Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom, two stories about flying. Both the stories are included in this. From the Diary of Anne Frank, The 100 Dresses Part 1, The 100 Dresses Part 2. This is all from the First Flight. And then we have the poems, Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, A Tiger in the Zoo, The Ball Poem. From the supplementary reader, that is Footprints Without Feet, we have A Triumph of Surgery, The Thief's Story, Footprints Without Feet. And then for term 2, the term 2 portion includes reading, which is more or less the same structure, questions based on the following kinds of unseen passages to assess inference, evaluation, vocabulary, analysis, and interpretation. One passage will be a discursive passage comprising of 400 to 450 words, and then case study based factual passage with visual input, statistical data, chart, line graph, bar graph, pie chart, tabulated information, etc., etc., based on about 300 to 350 words. Then we have the writing skills. Writing skills includes A formal letter based on a given situation, letter of order, that is placing an order, letter of inquiry, that means asking additional information or information. Then we have an analytic paragraph based on outline, chart, cue, map, report, etc. This analytic paragraph is based on a line graph, pie chart, tabulated information, etc. One needs to use language of comparison in that. You need not explain what is given, but you need to explain how it is increasing or decreasing. Language of comparison. Then we have grammar, tenses, modals, subject verb conquered, determiners, reported speech, commands and requests, statements and questions. Till here, the structural information of the portion is same. Then for literature, we have questions based on extracts, texts, and to assess interpretation, inference, extrapolation beyond the text and across the text. Across the text means a combination of maybe two texts involved, a comparison to be established. First flight of the textbook, first flight, glimpses of India. It has got three parts. Madam rides the bus, the sermon at Banaras, the proposal, it's a play. Then the poems, Amanda, animals, the tale of Custard the dragon. From the supplementary reader, we have from the footprints without feet, we have the making of a scientist, the necklace, the hack driver, and Boli. The weightage of each semester includes a 50% weightage, which has got internal assessments of 10 marks, that is notebook, your portfolio, and speaking and listening. The remaining, the 40% weightage, please remember that this is weightage, and your paper might still be of 80 marks, but out of that 40% weightage will be taken. So reading will be out of 10% weightage, writing and grammar together 10% weightage, literature 20% weightage, a total of 40 marks included. Internal assessments, that is notebook, portfolio, speaking, listening, 10% weightage. Altogether, it will be 50% weightage for term 1 and 50% weightage for term 2. The e-portfolio or the notebook that is assessed for term 1 is for term 1 only, and then thereon the remaining portion that is covered in term 2 and the e-portfolio covered into developed in term 2 will be assessed for term 2 separately. Speaking, listening, the same way, it will be assessed separately, and the weightage will be given out of 10, though the marks might be, say, 5 marks for notebook, 5 marks for e-portfolio, 5 marks for speaking, listening. That way the marks will be distributed, but the total of that 10% weightage will be taken here. For this written examination, you may still have a 80 marks paper, and 40% weightage will be taken. Or you may write an 1.5 hours paper, and exactly as it is, raw scores of 40 will be taken. So that depends on the decision of the school. With this, we have come to the end of the portion. I hope the students will make the best use of it, and the information regarding the speaking and listening will be shared in a separate video. Thank you very much for your kind attention.